G'day everybody and welcome back to another episode of Craft by Tim. Today we're going to be tackling one of the big projects for the year. I'm going to try and make a chandelier. I reckon this is going to be kind of cool. I'm very excited to try and tackle this. Let's get started with a design. So this is kind of what I'm looking at so far. I have a piece of flat bar. This is some 50 by 3mm flat bar, about 1400 millimeters long, which should give me an approximate diameter of about 446 millimeters. A very simple design, 8 candles around it. I can't do any of the welding yet because I've just ran out of gas. So this is my hoop bending thing. Quite a nifty little tool. It is very small though, and it is not designed for 50 by 3mm flat bar. I have two things that I can do to make this a little bit easier if it starts getting a little bit too difficult. First of all, I can apply heat. It solves a lot of different problems. The second thing, I can also just beat it with a hammer, because that sometimes works as well. Wow, that's even worse. What have I done? Did I do the maths wrong? I'm just gonna go with it. That's not looking too bad. So we're just about ready to start riveting this together, and for that I'm going to be using some pre-bought rivets. These came from a shop called Bolton's Scale Models. These are 1/4 by 3/4 inch steel rivets, generally referred to as boiler rivets. That's what they look like. They're actually quite nice, but of course we can cut these down to whatever size that we want, so that's why I went with the 3/4 inch. They actually had quite a decent selection. Bit expensive, but if you're looking for boiler rivets, this is kind of all you're going to find. Once the parts finish soaking in their bath, to get off all of the scale, I'm using some vinegar and some water, about a 40 to 60% mix, 60% water. We can start riveting this all together. So I've been having heaps of trouble trying to get in between the cup and the back of the holder. Why am I doing this the hard way? Just heat it up. I can get right in behind there. It's easy. Now what I want to do is the top, which is going to secure this to the roof. I'm not really sure how to do this, so I'm just going to start with something that I think will work. Have this adjustable, because not all my chains are the exact same length. Be able to use this to adjust how the chandelier actually sits. I spent a few hours forging out these hooks. They actually look kind of cool. They're threaded with an M8 thread. And then I welded these M8 nuts into holder for all of these. And in doing so, I had to make sure that they were all threaded in and they all sort of lined up relatively centered so that they would look really nice and uniform. They didn't. And sometimes this is just how things go. You might spend an awful lot of time doing something like this and just to find that it doesn't quite work. But that's just the process of making things, and it's not something that you should be ashamed of. In the words of William Shakespeare, our doubts are traitors, and they make us lose the good we oft might win, fearing to attempt. Don't be ashamed to try something new, even if you don't quite know whether or not it's going to work out. Just got that together, and now I'm like, maybe I should make a steel jellyfish. I mean, who wants a chandelier? Why not a steel jellyfish? So keeping things traditional is hard sometimes, and it's not always the best of practices. For instance, burning witches. Not a very safe practice. Same thing with chandeliers. So I tried to keep this traditional as possible in its aesthetic when I installed it and lit it up for about 5 minutes. When I took it down, I actually felt the roof, and the roof was getting kind of warm. I was only burning for about 5 minutes, but what if it was 10 or 15 minutes? That roof could actually be getting kind of hot, in which case it could actually result in a house fire, and then we would be the witches burning. I forged another link of chain and added it to it. And before testing it again, I thought maybe Google already has a reference for how much distance you should have from the top of your candle to the next surface above it. And that distance is about 3 feet, which is a meter. My chandelier is actually 600 mil from the bottom of the chandelier to the roof above it, which is about half of what you need, not including the candle height. And the main point is, I'm going to put electronic candles in this. I know it kind of takes away from the aesthetic of, this is a really cool, authentic sort of recreation of a medieval chandelier, but it's just not practical, unfortunately, and it's not safe. If I ever get commissioned to, or I find myself in a situation where I myself have a really high ceiling and I can actually do like a full-on chandelier, I would love to do that. But until then, until that day, I guess this is as close as I'm going to get. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next episode. In the meantime, do remember to stay safe, happy crafting, and as always, cheers. Also, update. There is a new store. There will be a link in the description. But yeah, new store, buy merch. Thank you for the support. Goodbye.